This work? Yeah, it works. Before we get started here, Ray Scott will say a few words. He's a member here.
Hey, I'm Ray Scott. I'm one of your board members. I'm also a partner here at the chapel. We don't have members here, we have partners. We want to welcome you here. In exchange for using this venue, I'm required to give you a 60-second commercial. Chapel. So, the chapel is the least known large church in the county. We started 11 years ago as 7 couples in the basement of Jay Hanson's house, who's our senior pastor. And right now we have about 1,200 on Sunday. And we have that in 4 different worship venues this week on 2 different campuses. We also have a children's program and a youth program. So if you're looking for a church home, come visit us. If you want to know more about the chapel, you can visit thechapelministries.com and learn more about us. A couple of housekeeping things. If you need restrooms, they're around that wall. If the temperature is not just right, let us know. We'll try to adjust it a little bit. And I'd also like to thank Brady Sherling, who's our technical director here at the chapel, for being here tonight and helping us with all the technical aspects of this thing. So, welcome here, and we're glad you're here. We're going to have a couple of presentations, and then after that we'll have a Q&A session, time for you to ask questions. Okay? Anything else? Got it covered?
Well, first off, I want to put some names with some faces. My name is Frank Porto on the board. We got Charlene Spence here. For those of you who don't know Charlene, we got Tom Lane, Ray you just met, we got Clint Miller, and Josh Shipman. And we also have a guest here this evening, Joe Shivers. He's in the back of the room. He's the vendor for the system that we're putting in here, so he can answer any technical questions. Otherwise, I just have to make up answers. So Joe's the man on that. The presentation that we got now, it is there's 47 slides here. So if you'll let me get through these and don't interrupt, I can do this in about 30 minutes. If we want to stop and ask questions, well, let's go cut into the Q&A time here. I'm not going to read you everything on these slides. I'm quite sure that you guys can read. You know, I'll point out some of the important items here, and we'll go from there. The format, rules, introduction, board presentation. Ground rules of the meeting. It is being recorded. Don't forget the camera's back here, so smile. Enough said on that one. The topic for today is the installation of the gate system and potential reduction of the man gate attendant hours here. And that's potential reduction. And then if you have questions about other concerns, at the end of that, we'll be glad to answer them. Of course, you can call us or send an email. We'll be glad to answer them for you. Just a reminder that we live in your neighborhood, in the same neighborhood that you do, and you know we're not going to do anything to jeopardize our safety or property values. You know, I just wouldn't think of it. I got to look after my family too, and my interests, and you do for yours. And this proposal that we have, this did not happen overnight. It's gone on for well over a year. The study of this. What's the board's reason for change? You know, after we looked at it after midnight, there's only somewhere between 5, 10, maybe 12 cars enter the community after midnight. And that costs roughly $34,000 a year to have attendants sitting in the booth till 5 a.m. The major break-ins that we've had, they have occurred with the attendant on duty. Now, I'm not here, neither is anyone else, to talk bad about the company we have for that's providing the service. It's just that, you know, they do have human beings that are out there as attendants. Human beings make mistakes. And what we're doing, we're trying to put in another layer of access control with this automated system here. You know, we have complaints about delayed resident entry for various reasons, which you'll see. The one here is there are some that refuse to get decals. What we got? What are we trying to accomplish? Improve the performance at the gate, eliminate the need to pre-approve guests. We have a gate for guests, so you'll be able to, the resident will be able to enter at a quicker pace. And, you know, we do have complaints about non-residents not being able to get into the neighborhood at times, such as if somebody has a caregiver, a maid, a dog walker, you know, that can all as easily remedied with this new system. We can extend the hours of gate control without increasing the cost, and we can save money and use this money for other upgrades in the community. And like I said about the company, we're not here to ding them. There's a human element that comes into play. These are items that we run into. This is on it's not daily, it's a weekly basis. We've got dozens of residents using the old sticker to gain access. Non-residents that have purchased vehicles of residents, and they're getting into the neighborhood. Yeah, we've got people with handheld decals, both the old decal and the new decal. They're coming into the neighborhood. The major break-in we had earlier, the guard or attendant did allow the people access. Now the company, they did remedy that, and 2 of their personnel, they were terminated. So the company did take care of the human error there. We've had vehicles using the exit lane to enter the community, just run past the guard. You know, when the attendant asks them to pull in and get out of the way, you know, move over so the residents can get in, quit delaying access, rather than turning around as they've been requested. They come on into the community. They'll come in and say they're going to a resident, possibly. You know, I've been called. Where are they? They're at the marina. They're down at the pavilion, not where they said they were going, not where they told the attendant that they were going. And several times, when the attendant does his job and is screening the personnel, they don't have the proper identification or to get into the neighborhood, then they'll cuss out the guards as well as the resident, as they've done it on numerous occasions. This is one I just heard of the other day. I've never thought of this one. We've got people that they know the phone number at the front gate. They're calling the front gate, posing as a resident, and telling them that they have a guest coming in. And in other words, they're allowing themselves entry. But I never thought about that, just heard of it 2 weeks ago. We've got residents using the attendant to prevent entry to certain individuals. You know, all that can be taken care of. And homeowner association, you know, they don't want that level of liability there either. I've had it, I don't know how many of you had it, you know, people showing up at the front door. How'd you get in? I just told them I was coming to see you. Well, who am I? So that happens numerous too. And like I said, we've got people that won't get the decals. With the new system proposed, you'll be able to enter through the gate. You'll need to slow down for the RFID, the little radio frequency, to be read. The gate will open, you'll proceed on in. The guests, we've got a diagram here in a minute, but they'll have a pull-off area with a telephone call box. and they'll do their thing, dial up the resident, and the resident will either allow or deny the guest to enter the community. The biggest complaint is about the lines waiting on people to be cleared up here. That's what we get more often than any. I've already mentioned at the top one there, you'll be in charge of who gets access if it's a guest, not the guard, or the attendant, I should say. The way the system works, go to the telephone entry system, push the button, it'll ring you. It can be, you can be in wherever. You can be in Atlanta, as long as if you put your cell phone number in there, you want somebody to come in, walk your dog, whatever. They call you, you put that in there, he'll call you and say, yep, okay. You'll allow them to enter the gate, enter the community. Pizza delivery. How many times have you forgotten to call the gate? Pizza man still probably shows up. Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore because the pizza man don't have to go to the telephone entry system. He'll dial your house. Again, you'll allow him entry. The system itself, like I said, if you got a caregiver, a maid, whatever, and you want them to come into the neighborhood, we can, we'll probably sell to this person a sticker, and it can be dated. At this date, it's no good anymore. If this person is going to continue to come into the neighborhood, then you just call, we'll reactivate it. The system right now, there's no change as far as the hours go. It's 6 p.m., 5 a.m., that's no change there. They can be extended if need be. Probably will never get to a 24-hour gated operation, but it'll allow you to get closer to it anyway. There's not a lot of, I won't even go there. Monetary savings, again, midnight to 5, approximately $34,000 just by eliminating the guards for that amount of time. 45 if we back it up from 10 to 5, and the contract right now is for 6 to 5 is $62,000. So if we put that deep into it, and that does not saying that we are, it could be a $62,000 savings per year applied to improvements in the neighborhood. Would you get a reduction in your fees? Well, like I said, it's not likely, but you'd be avoiding large dues increases. These are items that's going to be coming up in the very near future, and approximate cost to do these improvements here. And this, as you can see, it doesn't include any new projects or amenities to be added. These are just, the pool is coming up pretty quick. What's the proposed change? Update your old antiquated gate system with new state-of-the-art. The new gates will be just west of the sales office there. The gate entry system, well, I'll show you in a few minutes. I've got a slide here that shows that with the entry system. And the guest system, it shouldn't interfere with your entry at all. Shouldn't slow you down. Here it is. Of course, that's the sales office, the building here. But you be the blue as a resident. So you just proceed straight through. This is approximately where the gates would be. Slow down. The reader does its job, the gates open, you enter the complex. The guests, of course, they will enter into the parking area, swing around, This is approximately where the telephone entry system will be. They'll do their thing there. The gates will open. Come on in. Well, if you allow them to come in, they'll open. We've made 6 separate decisions here. We've in the process of replacing and adding new digital cameras. They're much better. You just have to see them to believe it. I can show you some of them at the end of this if you'd like to see it. We've got live on the telephones, on our phones, the smartphones. We've got live view. You can see what's going on. We're going to have an exit gate, which we don't have now. Gate relocation, guest entry, and like I said, for potential to reduce the amount of manned gate hours. And it's going to be based on performance. It's not, day one, if the system goes into operation, bam, no attendance. It's not that way. We're not going to do that. It'll be phased in or not. Well, what I was just talking about, the transition period, it's I can't read that over there. It's a period of months, like I said, based on performance. The guard or the attendants will be there to monitor and assist the guests or residents if need be. And if the decision is made to cut back on manned gate hours, and then it would be from midnight to 5 a.m. The bottom bullet item, additional measures, the system we've got, it can be expanded. We can have video monitoring. Like I said, the board members have the capability of monitoring the cameras as it is. But it can go to a full-time monitoring system or company as well. And we could add roving patrols. If we don't have an attendant up front, we can add roving patrols through the neighborhood and increase that. I think now we've got 4, per week. There's 2 on Friday and 2 on Saturday, have roving patrols. Can always increase that. Major concern, which I started out with, is safety and property values. This is what we were told by Mr. Myrick just the other day. The community itself was never designed for gated access, and none of it was provided at the inception of the neighborhood when it was started back in the 80s, mid to late 80s, I believe. They did have marketing material, and the neighborhood was marketed as being gated. So with the current developer, which is Mr. Myrick, he did add, and they tried to couple 3 systems of unmanned gated automated systems, but due to the technological or lack of technological help, they were failures. There were a lot of problems with it. And then the gate attendants were added somewhere between 10 and 13 years ago. The issues of the old system, you had the big swing gates that are still up there. As I was told, I've never seen them operate. They're large, they're slow. They did run into a few cars trying to tailgate throughout or leave exiting, I'm told. They snagged some cars there. These gates, the new gates, it's similar to what we have now at the attendant shack. They're up and down quite rapidly, but hopefully timed enough where no tailgating. They had a keypad, a code system for those, for the entry. This system has no permanent codes to get out to the public. Apparently, you've never had a separate gate or guest entry system to allow the residents to pass through. They've never been 24 hours. 24-hour operation now, it's financially really not feasible. Did not have a video surveillance feature, which we do. It's gone to a digital and state-of-the-art system here. All right, it's hard for me to call these guys up here attendants rather than guards, but they're not really guards. I mean, we being Oak Grove, they provide limited access control. That's it. Just access control. As far as being security, well, access control doesn't begin until 6 p.m. in the evening, goes to 5 a.m. The rest of the time, the neighborhood is wide open. So, unless the neighborhood is cleared after 6 o'clock, there's really not any security. Anybody, they get there before 6, they're in. Like I said at the bottom, your personal security, that's each person's individual responsibility there. Of course, call Glenn County if there's you see something going on. Don't hesitate to call in. Statistics that we've researched, most of the crimes occur during the daylight, and it says 65% of the FBI statistics show that 65% of all burglaries occur between 6 and 6, which would fit the most recent, we haven't had that many burglaries. Just the one burglary we had here in the past couple of weeks. Whoever did it, they did come in the daytime. So there were no attendants on staff in the first place. So they did come in there, and they did go in a back door. I think that their door was locked, but they did break the entry. One thing you got to look at this, as far as this neighborhood. One of the most secure houses in this country. They still get in. That's 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. You still got nuts that get in there, and they have security. Why not 24-hour gate? Is it physically possible? Well, like somebody said the other day, don't tell that to an engineer. If you got enough money, anything can be done, but it takes money. The building that we have up front, I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but there's no running water in that building. There are no toilet facilities in that building. Those people that go to the restroom, it's in the bushes over there. There's a porta potty there. They don't go to the bushes. There's a porta potty in the bushes. But for 24-hour security, you'd have to have more than one attendant, which ups the cost, and you'd have to have those facilities for the people. And of course, like I said, you'd have to meet EEOC and ADA requirements there to build the building there. Septic, I don't know where Clint could probably tell you better about a septic tank than me, but where's it got to be and what's it got to have, I don't know, but it's got to meet code. This is the blueprint of our the entrance to the neighborhood. What do I do? That's a quick entrance, wasn't it? Here it is. All right, here we go. This heavy black line right here, all this space in here, this is owned by the railroad company. It's not owned by Oak Grove. This is this little island. This is the island here. This is the one where the flags are. This is the island where the guard shack is. And of course, this is the long boulevard or the island right here. So you can see, as far as space available to us, is going to begin somewhere in here, as far as a third lane. And even then, you're going to have to purchase some property to be able to turn around a large vehicle if they're denied entry. They got to have a way to get out. So, it's going to involve purchasing some property here and extensive landscaping as well. 24-hour gate control, it's been studied by boards, you know, I'm told, over the past 10 to 15 years, the volume of traffic, you know, I've seen a number, sometimes it's $1,500 vehicles a day going and coming from the island. We do have a public golf course in the neighborhood. The golfers have to be allowed entry into here. So it's another issue. It's not something that cannot be overcome, but it is pricey. And like I said, as far as turnaround areas for these vehicles, trailers, trucks, what have you, you're going to have a turnaround if they're denied entry in here. Again, and kind of repeating myself here, cost estimate for building a third lane alone is, you know, it's estimated over $500,000. And I think we've got a little over 500 lots in the neighborhood. So, you know, $1,000 assessment at least, maybe more, for the building of the third lane. And then you're going to have the increase in the yearly dues as well. And 160, I think that would be very conservative. I think it would be more than that as far as the yearly dues going up. This is a survey results that was taken back in September of 2010. These are the results of this survey, and you can see the bottom item right there. What was it? 43 against and 208. No, I got that backwards, didn't I? 43 yeses and 208 against it to raise the dues and the assessment, and that was only, what were they at, $600 at that time. Again, 24-hour gate with gate attendants, would it eliminate crime? Not necessarily. You know, you've got Sea Island over there, which they do have, well, their budget is much greater than ours, obviously. They do have 24/7, 365 for their attendants, but their numbers show that they have more crime than Oak Grove does, by far. Gates and guard prevent crime. Well, according to the studies, they don't. The studies that you see, when they say a gated community, it's they don't make any differentiation between unmanned or manned when they say gated. Things that would help reduce the crime rate: video surveillance and monitoring, which we do have the video surveillance. Monitoring can be added. All these flexi guys in here, they'll protect us. You see anything called home security cameras? You know, I put one in myself. It was a little rough in the attic, but I put in my own cameras for what it's worth. Why do we have the attendance? Like I said a while ago, that's the way it was marketed to start with. Gates, do they increase property values? Yes, they do. There are studies out there. But again, they don't differentiate between attended or unattended. I saw a study just 2 or 3 days ago. It was published this year by the, I think, the American Real Estate Society or something along those lines. And they studied 18 communities, and I don't remember the geographic area, but they said it increased property values, you know, only average about $30,000. But when you put in the amenities, like a lot of communities have, and we do, swimming pools, tennis courts, and a clubhouse, well, because of maintenance on those over time, and that's going to take away some of the value, and they estimated it takes away about $19,500 over the long term. So it's sometime as the maintenance increases on your amenities, they can cancel out one another. The property value increases over the gated versus ungated. What do your attendants do at this time? They verify the guest, been authorized to enter by a resident. If they phoned in, they take down the driver's license and the tag number and a name, of course, on the driver's license, and then they raise the gate. But as far as security, there's really no security. He can't leave up there. I've been up there, we've had people call him, and they want him to come to the resident. They've seen or heard something. Well, he can't leave, and he tells them, call Glenn County. Won't change if there are no gate attendants. Well, other than him not being there, you're going to have to, or like we will have to verify their own guests, and you'll either allow them to enter or you won't. The new gate system, the RFID, the information's there, so if we need to check it, go back on the computer, it's recorded. Who came in, when they came in, what time they came in. It's unlimited. Joe can tell you all the technical, what the telephone system can do. Are attendants better? Well, not really. I guess that's debatable. But we take advantage of technology's automation every day. At least my wife does. She goes to Winn-Dixie so much. You can do your own. You can do your own checkout. You check out at Lowe's. You check out at Home Depot. You go to the bank tellers. They're automated. Technology. Do we have pictures of them asleep? Yes, we really do. It was late at night. I guess he'd been out, but he was asleep. So we do have pictures. They do get compliant once they know begin to know the residents coming and going. Again, this is kind of repeating what I said as far as values. We have talked to numerous agents as well as several appraisers in the area, and none of them see as far as values, there's no issue there. What does drive the value? Age, quality of the housing, location, school districts, appearance, spirit of the neighborhood. We've still got an abundance of vacant lots in the neighborhood for people to build. So, that's a good thing. Why do they matter? Well, you can build your dream home. We got a lady right in front. She just got hers. In some cases, you can build a brand new home. You can get into them cheaper than you can buy a resale. Other inhibitors, I guess that first one's talking about me, aging of our community and residents. Lack of new amenities. We've got plenty of trees at this time. What happens if the system doesn't work? Can it break down? Yes, it can break down. We can always revert back to what we've got. In the meantime, if it goes down, you go back to what we've got. The RFID technology, it's not new. I mean, you got two neighborhoods in your back door. At Sea Island, use the RFID. They do have the attendance 24/7. And Jekyll Island. Now, Jekyll does take in another, well, they obviously collect money at that gate. But it's an RFID system. The vendor, which he'll tell you about himself, but he has assured me that he has installed 50 plus of these systems, and he's got well over 20 years of experience in access and security camera. Even if we don't reduce the hours of the attendant, do we need to make this investment? Yes, the gate that we have at present, it's old. The big swing gates, we've got switches up there. I'm afraid to use them. I think one of the installers did, and they do work. I was told I didn't see them, but I'm just afraid to use them. I'm afraid that they close, they won't open. And I'm in trouble. We don't have an exit gate. The attendant with the new system, what will he do? He will monitor activity. That's all he'll be doing. The gate will be doing, it's automated. Like the bottom middle, there are more monitoring options available, and the system can be expanded. It is capable of doing more monitoring. And here's some of the items it could do. It can add real-time external video monitoring. You can put cameras throughout the community. I talked to one of Joe's communities yesterday. What was it? They're in Sea Pines, I think, on Hilton Head. And they've got 21 cameras throughout the community. We can increase the security patrols. Neighborhood watch, I understand we did have a neighborhood watch some time back. I don't know what happened to it, how it worked out, but on home security as well. All right, not yet. Anybody need to go to the sandbox real quick? Joe, you ready? Nobody wants to go to the sandbox.